Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You've got them for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad you joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here. We've got a great show. A little heavy in Pennsylvania, but when we look at the races last weekend, that was the only place that they raced, it seems like.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk to Dylan Cisney, the big winner at Port Royal, and Alan Krimes, the big winner at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. So going to be fun, that's for sure. We're glad you joined us. Erin's alongside. What's going on, girl? How are you?
Not much. I'm good. What about you?
Oh, I'm living the dream. Doesn't get any better. I'm back from Martinsville, ready to go.
STP weekend?
Yes, STP weekend is wrapped up. We're all kind of on the come down from that.
Yeah. How many hot dogs you get?
I do 2 a day, so I did 4. That's it. I have I don't overdo it. I did by 4. Love them. 4 is a perfect number. If I was there 3 days, 6 would be a perfect number. And it was great. So really, really good. Great time up there. I'm going to do a little NASCAR wheel and modified stuff at South Boston this week. And then USCS comes to the Carolinas.
Yeah.
So sprint cars are not that far off.
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait to get out there. Can't wait to get out there. That's it. So, hey, I was thinking about this. This past Saturday, we have our Wing Nation show. Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. Okay. And this past week, talked to Brent Kading. I want to mention this, and someone sent us a note on Facebook. How can I watch those shows? Those shows are MAV TV shows, okay? They're not available here at wingnation.com. What I would suggest you do is go to lucasoilracing.tv, get that app. Yeah, you're going to spend a little money for it, but what do you get on that app? You get all your Wing Nation on MAV TV shows. You get all the All-Star races on MAV TV. You get live ASCS National Tour races throughout the summer. And you get, I was on there just watching old Dave Despain shows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's phenomenal. So check out our friends, the Lucas Oil Racing TV app. But talking to Brent Kading, and I think I knew that Brent was active in 2019 sprint car racing in California.
Yeah.
It's Kading Performance. They have the speed shop. And I know he consults with King of the West in the NARC series. I don't know that I realized how. He's not the hands-on guy. Jim Allen's the hands-on guy, but Brent, man, he has such a passion for West Coast 410 sprint car racing. And they have the King of the West NARC series, Aaron. This is going to be phenomenal. And we understand there's some really good teams out there. There's some medium-sized teams out there, and there's some small teams out there, like everywhere in the country. And speed weeks are a challenge.
Yeah.
We know it's a challenge. But does that mean you don't push yourself and go do it? So what they're doing in August, this sounds phenomenal. Wednesday night, August 21st, Placerville. Thursday night, August 22nd, Silver Dollar. Friday and Saturday, the 23rd and 24th, a 2-night show at Stockton. 4 straight nights. I know, small teams are like, oh boy, you know about it now, we can build up. But I'm telling you, when you look at what Ohio Speed Weeks means to Ohio and what Pennsylvania Speed Week means to Pennsylvania, what Indiana Speed Week means to midget racing, what these mean, I just think what they're doing in California is phenomenal.
I do too.
I really do. And I understand small teams. The King of the West NARC teams, a lot of them are 1-night-a-week racers because that's what they run. It's, and I get it. It's going to be hard. And I get it. It's going to be a challenge. But, man, when you think about what happens when California gets those motor coach people that go from race to race to race and can't wait for this. Now, by the way, it's an off weekend for NASCAR, so I believe Kyle Larson's going to be racing with him and likely some other folks there. It's really exciting what's going on out there. Talking to Brent Kading about that, we did the show and we talked a little bit about it on the show, but then after the mics go off or if the cameras go off, we're just sitting and talking. And man, I'm fired up. I think they've got some really good things out there.
Well, and I think, you're talking about the small teams and their budgets, but racers are racers. You put a speed week, you put a bunch of nights together, they're excited about it.
Yes.
Even if they're scraping up the money and have to take a week off of work, there's not a racer that doesn't really like the speed weeks.
It's going to be fun because we don't have to wait 7 days to do it again. We got to go to the car wash, get this thing buttoned up, and dreary-eyed and tired drag our way into the
But it's the best dreary-eyed.
Oh, it is. It's the best dreary-eyed. Exactly. Hey, let's take a look at our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Mother Nature's not being nice, okay? So we're hot at Mother Nature. That's what we are. It's not a hot topic. We're hot at Mother Nature. Pennsylvania, Dylan Cisney and Alan Krimes, we talked about this. I thought this was really, really neat. Greg Wilson picked up the win with USCS. I just thought that's great. Okay, we understand Greg has embarked on a World of Outlaw career a couple years ago, and he picked up a win here at Charlotte, but there's been a lot of struggles with it, and decided to pull back. He's going to run the All-Stars this year full-time, but he had all these Hercules tire stores that he wanted to go see and does this stuff. So in the spring and the fall and around it, he does it. Well, and then the struggle this year is the struggle that everyone's had, the weather.
Yeah.
It don't matter who you are. When you're a racer and you're not racing, that's not good.
Yeah.
So he actually posted last week that I'm trying to find a place to run anywhere, somewhere around this area. He found a spot, North Alabama Speedway, USCS, and he won a trophy. And I know that this is not the biggest win in Greg's career. I get that along the way, okay? But seeing his two little girls that travel around there, it might very well be the biggest win in his career because those little girls got a trophy from Dad.
And even though it's not a World of Outlaw race, it's a win that he hasn't had in a while. So sometimes they're pretty big wins mentally.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
There is a mental thing. There is a winning mindset.
Confidence thing.
There is a confidence thing. He's going into he'll win races with the All-Stars this year. He'll win. And he may very well win a bunch of races.
In that Ohio area, I mean, we know that's his.
That's his wheelhouse.
Domain,
okay, so but I just thought, and he posted a picture of his two girls with a trophy.
Awesome.
And I'm just that to me is what this sport is about. What traveling is about. We see it with the. Did you see the Pittmans? Darren came home and went roller skating. One of the girls had a birthday.
I did see
Pittman on roller skates. I understood they
yeah.
had a race at the skating rink, and he won that too. Of course, that's like everything this year with Pittman. So, but I thought that was really neat. So, kudos to our buddy Greg Wilson, everyone on the Hercules Tires team. We're really happy to see you standing in victory lane, and we expect you to do it more often this year. How about that? There's the plan. Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery for all of your hats, for towels, for hoodies, for shirts. And all of your needs, you can find out at www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. Make sure while you're there, check out the Wing Nation gear as well. We do need to step away, but before we do that, we want to share with you, okay, Dylan Cisney is coming up, okay? And this is a perfect time for it because here is the last lap at Port Royal. Earl Hoon is the track announcer. If you watched it on Speed Shift. Of course, you can listen to it there as well. The Speed Palace, Anthony Macri leading, Dylan Cisney running second. The last lap, here it is. It's our Dryden Diesel All Death-Defying Move of the Week.
And now for the Dryden Death-Defying Move of the Week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Macri follows the lap car. Here comes Cisney. Cisney tries to try the top. Side by side. Checker flag is out. Dylan Cisney will win at Port Royal.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
An American tradition. Since 1889, Red Brand Fence has provided American farmers, ranchers, and homes with the highest quality fencing solutions built on tradition. Whatever your fencing needs, field, stockade, livestock, garden, electric, or specialty fencing applications, Red Brand has the fencing for your specific needs. Go to redbrand.com to find your fencing, local dealers, support, and guides. Made in the USA, Red Brand Fencing. That's redbrand.com for more information.
Since the dawn of American industry, Dryden was there as the country built its first roads, laid the blocks of its factories, and spanned rivers with new bridges and rails. Today, with Dryden's All technology, we instill this heritage into every Dryden oil, lubricant, fluid, and DEF product we make. Dryden is a tradition of performance with 21st century technology. Dryden, official motor oil of the World of Outlaws, and always American-owned and operated. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
The Win a Z06Corvette.com sweepstakes to benefit the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is underway. Go to winaz06corvette.com to find out how you can win the Torch Red 2019 Z06 Corvette that is on display now in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. The winner will be announced Saturday night, August 10th during the 59th Annual Knoxville Nationals. Visit winaz06corvette.com to win this awesome ride.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing as a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the past 16 years and a partner of Wing Nation for the past 4 years. We love sprint car racing, and we're there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
I'm Paul McMahon. One has a display in the Sprint Car Hall of Fame, and one has a framed picture of a sprint car. Here are Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Okay, Paul McMahon, we appreciate Paul bringing us back there, as Paul always does. A tweet of Baker Mayfield, you know, the big quarterback. Yep. He apparently had a problem getting, his fiance was going to a bachelorette party and couldn't get there, and American Airlines, one of the airlines, changed all the flights, and Baker Mayfield went on Twitter and raised a concern about this to the airline, and Paul McMahon just tweeted, sounds like my schedule, sounds like my travel, or something like that.
Welcome to my world.
Welcome to my world, exactly. Always great to hear from Paul McMahon, and it is always great to go to our Red Brands hotline and talk to a guy. Dylan Cisney joins us on the line. Hello, Dylan. Welcome into Wing Nation again.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me back on.
Well, there we go. Dylan, I want you to tell me, how does this sound? Winner of the Port Royal Speedway season opener, Dylan Cisney. Does that have a ring to it?
Oh, man, it's still kind of setting in a little bit, you know. It's one of them races where you get there and you get ready to start your year off, and they go down the list of names who have won the opener, you know, Kaufman, DeWeese, and all them guys that I watched when I was a kid, and boy, it's something special to just think my name's even in the same sentences as some of them guys.
Well, you certainly earned it. Dylan, talk about those last laps. I mean, you gained on Anthony so much. Just like, did you know that you had it in you? Did you find something those last few laps? Just bring us through those last few laps.
Oh, man, I don't know how I did it myself, but I watched the video there, and I thought I was a lot closer than I was until I saw the video. And I remember going down the front stretch. I thought I was close enough to maybe slide him or something when I got to 3 and 4, so I knew I had to hit a good 1 and 2. And there was a spot right under the Port Royal sign in the middle of 1 and 2 you could kind of aim for and get a good run down the back stretch. And I pulled some wing and hit that, and was just kind of deciding what to do with the run going down the back stretch. And all of a sudden he followed the last cars and left the top open and just got a run. And I didn't know if there was going to be enough room or not between him and the fence coming out of floor, but I figured we were either going to pass him or we were both wrecking. But luckily it worked out.
What's that like when you cross the line after a spectacular? I've never driven a race car. Erin's won World of Outlaw races. You won races at Port Royal. What is that feeling like when you and you've been on the other side of them too? What's that feeling? What was that feeling like when you got midway down the front stretch and you crossed the line ahead of them?
Oh, it was pretty cool. I mean, it's still hard to even really think about what happened because I've been on the other side of that deal a lot more than I've ever been on this side. I mean, this is the only time I ever really came from that far back in a feature and made a last lap pass like that. And after I got by him going down the front stretch, I couldn't still really believe it myself. I had to make an extra lap and make sure that was actually the and that wasn't the white. And man, I don't know how it worked, but we just had a great car all day long, and I guess it was just meant to be.
It certainly was. Dylan, talk about day racing. You mentioned after the race how you love when a track is like that, dry slick from top to bottom, but describe why it suits your driving style.
Well, it's so much fun, you know. You got to think about what you're doing and drive the car. And I mean, there's something special about getting a sprint car out there and using all 900 some horsepower when it's wet and heavy and you know, muscling up and just running the car hard. But it's a whole different game whenever it slows down and you got to be on your toes with the throttle and the steering and working the wing and then making the right decisions on where to put the car. And that's just kind of what I love. It was just one of them races where I just tried to stay patient the whole time, keep the car straight, and and knew that we had the car, and if we had enough time, we could get there, and we did.
Dylan, one of the things that you talked about after winning that race was the fact that it was nice coming into the season opener at Port Royal with a couple of races under your belt. Can you go a little bit further? What does that mean? Why was it important for you to get a couple races in? I know we've been struggling with the weather, but why was it important? And what was that like rolling into Port Royal, not totally fresh into the new season?
Well, I kind of had this discussion with a bunch of people over the winter. And it's like, with our schedule, what we do usually a Port Royal only team, it's hard to get the laps and be as good as these other guys. There's so much racing in Central PA, and for us to run 20-some races a year, hey, we can be competitive at Port Royal, but, other than that, when you struggle, it's really hard to make gains on it because your season's so short. So that was our goal this year is luckily things worked out. We had some new sponsors come on board and some other people helping us out with motors and things like that. And today we got to make a change. We need to get out there and we need to do more racing. And that's the only way we're going to be as competitive as some of these other guys. So, usually opening day is just kind of, all right, let's show up, feel the car out, just make sure, we bolted the motor in tight and we didn't forget nothing. We brought all the wrenches along and get through it without busting the thing up. And, this year we showed up. We had a race in at Lincoln and opener at Williams Grove, and, we showed up just ready to go.
Yes, certainly. You mentioned that after the race that more tracks and more laps is the goal for this year. Do you have a set schedule, or you're just going to stick to Port Royal and do what else you can?
The big thing that helps this year is my work schedule kind of changed. I do construction work, so we float all over the place, and we're a little closer to home. We're working only probably 20 minutes from Williams Grove here now, so that's going to allow us to get to Williams Grove more on Fridays. So we're planning on hitting all the Diamond Series races, basically anything that's a time trial show at Williams Grove. We'll be back at Williams Grove here this Friday. Planning on doing all the World of Outlaw shows at Williams Grove. Pretty much the full Port Royal schedule. You'll see us here for the All-Star Weekend in April down in Virginia, and then Williams Grove, Port Royal, possibly Bedford there. So we're going to try and do roughly maybe a 50 to 60 race schedule and just do what we want. If there's a race we want to go do, we'll go do it. If we want to skip somewhere and change our minds at the last minute, we're just going to do what we want and try and have fun.
I read Jeremy Elliott, of course, who does that great job with Sprint Car Unlimited. He had written a story about you a week or so back, or a couple weeks ago. I didn't check the date on it. The most you've ran in a year is 29 races. So you're looking at jumping that to 50 to 60. And you talked about some new partners coming on board and people helping you and those type of things. From a maintenance workload, keeping up with the car and everything, what do you foresee the challenge with virtually? I mean, if the weather goes well, you're talking about close to doubling your schedule. How is that going to work for you and your boys working on that car?
Well, we work at least 40 hours, not more.
Yeah.
And, we kind of just try and get stuff done as we can. Everybody knows how to get in the garage. And, my one friend, he works on the car maintenance. My other one, he works on tires. I do all the motor maintenance and other stuff that needs done through the week. So just whenever people get a chance, we can show up and do what we got to do and just keep in communication with each other. We won't really change anything about how we do stuff. It'll just be just the frequency of doing it. More racing. We're just going to have more work and less time, and that's really the balance. We'll just kind of have to figure it out as we go. And not to say our work schedules might not mess things up a little bit here or there, but we'll just try and work together and figure it out and see how things go and try not to get in too far over our heads. I've been plenty busy all off season trying to get ready for this and having cars ready, and went and bought my first house last month. So I've been working on that and working full time and working on the house, building race cars till midnight, 1 in the morning, and getting back up at 5 to go to work. So just trying to stay busy and make sure everything's done right.
You're trying to stay busy. I'm trying to not be tired from listening to you. Is the new house close to the speedway though? I mean, you're that long commute you have to the race. You still going to have that?
Yeah, well, I made sure my nickname didn't have to change at the speedway, so we're still within 2 blocks of the speedway. We're just kind of to the opposite corner of the 2 blocks. So things are going good. I was rushing to get moved in before the first race, and I did it pretty much like the night before we started racing. Got everything shoved in there, and got a little work to do through the racing season on the house. But hey, we're all moved in, and I got a nice pool there. So hey, when you guys are up this summer, we're gonna have fun after race pool parties down the street.
Oh, now you're talking. Now you're talking. Dylan, congratulations on that win. I know there'll be plenty more as we roll through the season, and appreciate the time here today.
All right. Thanks for having me back on. I look forward to seeing you guys when you get back up to Port Royal.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
There we go. Dylan Cisney. Man, that's just energy right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was tired listening
tired.
to
Yeah, exactly. Buddy of mine, Casey Cole, the Cole family has raced at 5 Mile Point Speedway for years and years and years. And he put on his Facebook, and they're up in the Binghamton, New York area.
Yeah.
Okay. 6 hours in the car, 9-minute feature. Dylan Cisney leads the last 50 yards. Priceless.
That's cool.
That was really, that sums it all up,
Yeah.
because that feature went green. It went actually 8:28:57.
Wow.
Man, that is wheeling around the Speed Palace. We need to step away. We're going to go a little further south, not a lot further south, down to the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. We'll talk to Alan Krimes in just a moment.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt lay model have taken the checkered flag on Weld racing wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld racing wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld racing wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing, proven speed.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery. Located in Greater Pittsburgh, Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice, Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
O'Reilly. Is your check engine light on? Don't ignore it. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today and let our professional parts people scan your vehicle for free. We'll retrieve the codes, discuss possible solutions, and even help you find a professional technician if needed. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today for our free check engine light help. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Sammy Swindell, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post. Let's go back to the Red Brand Hotline. Joining us now, fresh off from a victory at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. Two-time champion there. Alan Krimes is on the line. Hello, Alan. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me on.
Alan, tell us about that win on Saturday at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway.
Yeah, everything just kind of went our way. We were pretty awful there the first 2 weeks, so had our point handicap pretty low and started us up front in the heat, and was able to win the heat, and then started up front in the feature, and I think it led every lap. So, like I said, everything just kind of went our way.
Alan, it seemed like the cautions kind of fell right in place for you. You started to catch lap cars near the end, and you got a caution. But as a driver, talk about how the emotions go with that. You get the caution, you're like, phew, we're not in lap traffic. But then you're like, great, I don't know how far of a lead I had. Who's right behind me? The field is all bunched up. So describe a little bit of that in that last restart.
Yeah, definitely. We actually caught lap traffic, I think, 2 different times. And like you said, we're fortunate enough for the yellow to come out right at the right time there. But yeah, I knew I had a real good car when I was out by myself, and I figured somebody was going to have to be real fast to pass us out in clean racetracks. So, in that instance, when you go with lap cars like that, you're kind of happy to see a yellow get you back out in clean air, and clean air is just such a big thing in these cars these days. But yeah, like I said, we're kind of fortunate there. The yellows fell our way, and was able to capitalize on it.
Alan, one of the things that I've just so respected about you and your team is the fact that it is such a close-knit family racing team. And I understand and reading a little bit in social media that your dad's going through some stuff, and it's been a rough off season for you guys. What did it mean to get that win? Your dad wasn't there. Just describe where you guys are at with the family team and how important was that win on Saturday?
Yeah, it was real big. He was diagnosed with cancer, I believe, 4 or 5 years ago, and he's been fighting it off here over the years. But things over the last couple of months here, so it's been pretty rough on us. So yeah, like you said, he wasn't able to be there Saturday, and wasn't there the week before either. So I think those are maybe the 2 only races since I've started racing there. He wasn't there, so it's definitely been hard on us. But yeah, it was awful nice to pick up a win there. My mom and dad and sister and some family friends were back at home watching it on Speed Shift TV, so they were able to watch it on there, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. What was that phone call, I'm sure, right after the race? What was that like with your dad? I'm sure that gave him a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, definitely. You could kind of tell in his voice that, he was pretty happy there for us. But, yeah, it was definitely anything you're able to do to pick him up a little bit. I know he's feeling pretty down here the last couple of weeks. So anything we can do to, give him a little bit of happiness there was definitely big for us.
I am certainly sure of that, and we'll continue with thoughts and prayers as your dad battles that and you guys work through it. I saw a post on Twitter as a team. You were looking for a transport driver. I know you are a family team and that sort of thing. What does this season hold for you? I mean, what does the game plan? Is it week by week? How do you go forward in the season as you work through all of the things on and off the track that you're dealing with?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to plan out a schedule at this point. We were planning on racing every race in Lincoln and then probably 15 or 20 races at Williams Grove. But, the big thing with us is we build our engines, and my dad's obviously a big part of that. And with him being under the weather here, we haven't been able to put our second motor together. So right now we're running with one engine, one car, and that engine has some races on it left over from last year. So, if we're able to get that second one together here, and we did buy a second car over the winter there, so let's start working getting that thing back together. And but yeah, it's just kind of hard right now. Like I said, I'd like to run every race in Lincoln for sure, and do a bit on at the Grove there, but we'll see how it all plays out here.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with all of that. Alan, as a driver, you hadn't been in Victory Lane in 2 years. How, emotions away from the track aside, how important was that for you, for your confidence, for your team, getting back to Victory Lane, how important that is for you?
Yeah, it was real important. I never really lost confidence over the last 2 years. Just felt like we just didn't have very good race cars over the last 2 years for one reason or another. And we were able to start the season here with a brand new car, and things felt real solid. We didn't have the results the first 2 weeks in Lincoln there, but those 2 races were more about track position. Kind of hard to plan on what kind of racetracks you're going to get this early in the year. I believe the first race we ran there was still like an inch of snow in the parking lot, so it wasn't the best racetrack to race on. But and then the second week we drew a bad number and had to start in the back. So, but I felt good. The car felt good and everything like that. I knew once we got to start a little bit up closer to the front, we'd be able to contend for wins there and stuff. So, yeah, hopefully we can keep the momentum up here and start getting into some warmer weather and more consistent racetracks and have a good season here.
Well, we're certainly hoping that as well. We certainly wish you the best, you, your father, your family, as you work through the challenges that you guys have. Congratulations on that win, Alan, and we do appreciate you taking some time and sharing a bit of your story with us here today. Thanks for joining us on Wing Nation.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I just want to thank my sponsors here real quick. Krimes, Osage Piping and Fabricating, Dave Service Company, Rick's Auto Body, and Chapel's Country Creamery. Couldn't do it without those guys, so we appreciate all their help.
No doubt. I'm glad you got them worked in because they're so critical to your family. Thanks again, Alan.
I appreciate it.
There we go. That is Alan Krimes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a story for you right there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I shared when I brought Alan and started talking about it is that when you want to talk about the definition of family racing team, that is family racing team. And so as they deal with Larry's cancer diagnosis and working through that, I mean, you have all of the personal element of it. You have the battle, the health, everything else. Yeah. But also the team responsibilities. The physical responsibilities. Dad did this, Dad did that, Dad did this. And so, man, that's gotta just be like a double or triple whammy with you. You know, I mean, because the thing we do for enjoyment, we still have the same issue that we're working with.
Yeah.
So, man, I'll tell you what. That's we certainly our thoughts and prayers are with Alan and his family as they work through this. I love this is where we talk about pay-per-view, good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is. This is where it's spectacular.
Yep.
Okay, so Speed Shift TV had that race,
yep.
So they could watch it. I mean, there's just so much good, and again, we just wish the best for the Krimes family as they work through this season with all of the challenges on and off the racetrack that they're going through. And congratulations! I love that Alan Krimes was in victory lane. Saw my buddy Wayne Carini. That's Anthony's dad.
Yeah.
Wayne Carini's name behind him.
I did see that. Yeah. And the
Wayne's just quality people. I'm telling you what. So, like that he's involved there as well. Let's step away. When we come back, we'll have more Wing Nation.
An American tradition. Since 1889, Red Brand Fence has provided American farmers, ranchers, and homes with the highest quality fencing solutions built on tradition. Whatever your fencing needs, field, stockade, livestock, garden, electric, or specialty fencing applications, Red Brand has the fencing for your specific needs. Go to redbrand.com to find your fencing, local dealers, support, and guides. Made in the USA, Red Brand Fencing. That's redbrand.com for more information.
O'Reilly.
Save on your next oil change with 5 quarts of Castrol GTX high mileage motor oil and a MicroGuard filter on sale now for the same price as Castrol Conventional for just $26.99. Improve engine performance in your vehicle with Castrol motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
10 tours, over 200 nights of racing. The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 28th year. Whether you're enjoying the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series National Tour at Williams Grove, Eagle Raceway, Skagit Speedway, or any of the 9 ASCS regional tours across Arizona, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and beyond, winged and even non-winged, there's a race happening near you. Check online for schedule details at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And when you can't be there live, catch the National Tour and select regional events on RacingBoys.com.
This is Wing Nation on MRN.com. Since the Amish cowboy Danny Dietrich and me weren't available, here are Steve Post and the beautiful Erin Evernham.
Terry McCarl bringing us back. T-Mac, of course, he's getting ready for the Sage Fruit Front Row Challenge. See, when you mention Terry McCarl, you have to say tickets are available to the Sage Fruit Front Row Challenge. Yes, he's got that. That's like a rights thing.
Yeah.
You know, Terry's got that in his deal. When you mention my name, you got to mention tickets are available for the Front Row Challenge. Or they'll soon be available, or they were available, or you missed it, or you need to come next year, whatever it is. So appreciate T-Mac bringing us back, and it is glad. Yes, we're ringing the bell for T-Mac. There you have it. Hey, one of the things we love to do here on Wing Nation is talk about our favorite places, at least one of our favorite places, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in turn number 2 at Knoxville. We always do this a lot of times talking about birthdays. And a little bit quiet as far as birthdays go. Coming up on Thursday, Hank Arnold. But I believe this is yesterday. I think I wrote down the wrong note here. Yesterday would have been the birthday of 2001 inductee Albert Buddy Taylor, also known as the Albuquerque Wild Child. Now, isn't that a name?
Yeah, it is.
That's a name.
That's a
we
good
just need
nickname.
like someone like that country singer Jerry Reed to sing about the Albuquerque Wild Child, and you'd really have something. Born in 1926, had incredible success on the racetrack. 11 New Mexico state championships, Arizona state championships, more than 200 wins. He'd climb into anything, a midget, a jalopy, a super modified, a sprint car. He'd climb in and win races. 30 wins at Manzanita Speedway. One of the other things about Albert is he loved kids. kids, okay? He'd go win a race, and he'd bring a kid down and give him the trophy. Now, that's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
But Albert even took this a little bit further, and I really love this. He actually, in his away from racetrack time, taught at-risk youth mechanical skills and welding. I'm telling you what, that's a real man right there that's doing that. And who knows how many lives he touched by teaching those skills, and generational lives now, because this would have been the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
How many kids and grandkids of people that, because maybe Albert taught them how to weld.
Yeah.
They ended up going in a great direction. So really, really neat. As so often happened in our sport, 1978, died in a crash at Manzanita Speedway. He had just wrapped up the track championship. And so while we lost him there, we hold on to his memory forever at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. That's what this place is about. Stories like Albert Buddy Taylor. I am telling you, it's phenomenal what they have out there. And they're doing that Corvette raffle, too. Win that Corvette. Come on. Get that Corvette. You be riding around looking styling, looking all right in that bright red Corvette. I need to get myself a couple more tickets to that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I look good in that car.
Oh, absolutely.
Hair flowing in the breeze. I got this mop going on here. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Hey, coming up on Wednesday, and the Hall of Fame is going to get involved with us on this deal. Okay, we're getting ready to fire this thing off as far as who's doing what. And I know a lot of teams have talked about it also. We've been talking here Wednesday, April, and you're going to get involved too, folks. I mean, don't just sit around and think we're going to do all the work here. You're going to do the heavy lifting. Wednesday, April 10th, National Sprint Car Day, our very own holiday. Woohoo! We need hats and noisemaker and chocolate cake, baby. It'll be great. So it is going to be fun, and we got fun times coming up. We're really excited about it. A lot of good things happening along the way this year. A lot of good things happening this week. Coming up on Thursday, Barry Jackson going to join us. Of course, we know Barry, the team manager for CJB Racing, stoic, rough, tough, everything else. This past weekend, he was grandpa to his grandson's first quarter midget race. Oh, we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. There's a lot going on with the World of Outlaws, so we'll talk to Barry on that. And then, oh my gosh, batten down the hatches. Saturday morning, Wing Nation by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. Scruffy.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Bobby Allen joins us, and it's all Bobby all the time. So that is going to be great. You can catch that Saturday morning on MAV TV. Hey, we appreciate Dylan Cisney and Alan Krimes joining us here today.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Watch Wing Nation Saturday mornings on MAV TV. You can also find Wing Nation on wingnation.com or your favorite podcast provider. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.